in Roman art, who is the enemy. He's the guy that's shown in art with his hands tied together in submission. He's wearing pants. He's non-Roman. This is the barbarian for so many of the Romans. And one place where they celebrate that victory against the Dacians in particular is the Forum of Augustus, dedicated in January 112 AD, celebrating wars fought and won from 102 to 103 and 105 to 106. And you celebrate it with a lot of art of the vanquished foe. And this includes, of course, the weaponry of the Dacian. It includes them fighting against the Romans, narrated beautifully on the narrative frieze on the exterior of the column of Trajan. But really we start with the base, and this base is decorated with piles of weapons of the defeated Dacian foe. And everyone would have recognized this weaponry, this material, as non-Roman. Over 2,500 figures narrate the battles fought and won against the Dacians. Here we see some casts from the narrative frieze on the column of Trajan. And you see the Dacians with their tightly wound Phrygian cap, almost like a skull cap on their heads, and their pants. Here is Decebalus, the king of the Dacians, committing suicide at the top of the column. And here he is again in a dramatic pose, again with his well-recognized cap and pants. This is found from the Chesi collection, now part of the Capitoline Museums, found somewhere in Rome, in Biggio Morato marble. Again, the colored marble can define the other. And we can jump to Florence, to Palazzo Pitti, where you have on these Arcus Novus plinths the porphyry statues of more Dacians that belonged to Cardinal Andrea della Valle and were acquired by Ferdinando de' Medici for Villa Medici in Rome, and then transported here to this property of his in the 18th century, where they remain on display. Very impressive, again, of purple porphyry. The Dacians also appear in the form of Trajan on arches and arcades in Pavonazzetto marble. So again, the other is oftentimes depicted in magnificent colored marble. And probably the most famous example where we see the Dacians today in Roman art is reused from the Trajanic period on the Arch of Constantine by the Colosseum, dedicated in AD 315. Constantine wasn't fighting against the Dacians at that time, but he utilizes, among other pieces of art, 8 colossal statues of the Dacians with their hands held together in submission, wearing their very well recognizable Phrygian cap, tightly bound to the skull. And it is an exceptional arch, 21 meters high, beautifully decorated with all kinds of relief work from other Roman monuments. Where do the Dacians come from? Well, we tend to think of the form of Trajan, but there is no documentation that shows in the age of Constantine it was already being dismantled. It could have been one of many lost Trajanic monuments. One thing's for sure, it adds to the grandeur of the Arch of Constantine right by the Colosseum.